What's good, y'all? Akil here, back with another video, and today I'm going to show you guys what's sold on eBay over the past couple of days. As you guys know, I usually ship out every item that sells on Saturday, but you guys didn't miss much. I only sold maybe 2 or 3 items on Saturday. So as a whole, this weekend wasn't huge in terms of quantity, but we did make some decent profit overall. So if you guys are interested in these kind of videos, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so starting off with something small is this Epson Ink Cartridge, and I picked up a bunch of these a few months back. Some were brand new in the package, some were even expired, and some like these were loose, and I lotted some of these together, and this is the last group that ended up selling, and I sold 3 for $12.99. so not a ton of profit, but when I picked up that whole lot of them, it was maybe like 100 ink cartridges all together, and I spent maybe 20 bucks. So I made some decent profit overall, but you know, finally they did all sell out. And I used to sell a ton of ink. I used to sell a lot of expired ink, and I used to just come across them a lot more often for really cheap prices. Nowadays I don't usually come across them for that cheap, but anytime I can find them, I usually always pick them up because they usually sell in a decent amount of time. Next up is a pair of football cleats that I picked up from Ross for only 20 bucks, and these sold for $64.99, and this is in a size 11.5. I remember when I first started getting on here, I would tell a lot of people size 11.5 was a tougher size to sell, but lately I've been selling so many size 11.5s really quickly that I no longer believe that. So if you guys come across size 11.5 while you're in the thrift or even doing some retail arbitrage, definitely pick it up because that's a size that still sells, and usually it's kind of a rarer size. So if you can find it in a really dope shoe, you usually will sell pretty quickly. So like I said, I picked this up for 20 bucks and it sold for 65. This should easily fit in a padded flat rate envelope, so definitely be on the lookout for some of these football cleats in Ross, because I know a lot of times, especially right now, a lot of Rosses have some shoes on clearance, and I've been picking up a lot of them as well. But just know that a lot of the cleats that you usually pick up, especially if they're not some of the more desirable ones, the desirable ones usually sell out in Ross really quickly, and those are some of the ones that I usually do flip online. But the ones that end up on clearance are usually some really large sizes, and they sit for a while. So I try to stay away from those really huge sizes like 16, 17, 18, even size 15 sometimes is a little too big. But if I can come across some average sizes, I usually would flip those at a decent rate, and this is a perfect example of it. Next up, we got this blazer from Calvin Klein, and this was brand new with tags. I picked this up from one of those wholesale orders that I did with Honcho Wholesale. If you guys didn't check out that unboxing, I'll put that up in the card so you guys can check that out. But overall, that was just a quick review of Honcho Wholesale, and I got basically a lot of Macy's brands that sold. I didn't pay for that box, so everything that came out of that box was all profit. Some of the brands are some long tail stuff like I was telling you guys in that video. This jacket in particular actually surprised me because it did sell in a decent amount of time. Usually blazers, depending on the brand, especially lower end brands like Calvin Klein, I was expecting this to sit for a very long time. This one sat for maybe 4 or 5 months. I'm not exactly sure when I put that last video out, but it definitely did sell a lot quicker than I was expecting, especially nowadays where a lot of people aren't picking up blazers. So I would still say pick up some Calvin Klein pieces and stuff like that if you guys can find them for a decent price. But usually anytime I'm selling some of those like mall brands or Macy's brands, I usually only pick it up if it's brand new with tags. In terms of picking up used stuff like Calvin Klein and Michael Kors and those type of other brands, I usually pass on it unless it's brand new with tags. Next up, we got another pair of football cleats, and I also picked these up from Ross for I believe $19.99, and these have sold for $69.99. And the funny thing is, I literally just listed these shoes last night and they sold once I woke up. So this was a really quick sale. I probably priced it a little too low, but it is what it is. I'm just glad that these sold as quickly as they did, because for a while I've been picking up football cleats from Ross, and some have been selling really quickly and others are kind of sitting for a while. But I do think now people are starting to pick up some football cleats, and especially these fly knit ones. These are usually flying off the shelves, so definitely be on the lookout for some of these. Next up, same thing, we got another pair of football cleats going out. I also picked these up for 20 bucks, and I believe these sold for $69.99, but I'm not exactly sure. So of course I'll put that screenshot up for you guys so you guys can check that out. But I remember when I picked these up, I checked the comps and they were selling for a decent amount of money, and the sell-through rate seemed pretty good, so I picked those up, and I was hoping that I was able to find some more of these type of football cleats in the clearance section. But like I was telling you guys earlier, a lot of those football cleats that are in the average sizes, those usually sell out of Ross really quickly, and it's usually the larger sizes that end up sitting around, and then and then those end up getting marked down. But this pair I picked up for 20 bucks and it sold in a decent amount of time. Next up, we got a couple Poshmark sales, so I'll run through those really quickly. And this is a pair of Superfly 6s. These are just some indoor soccer cleats, and to be honest, I had these in the inventory for a very long time. This is one of the first shoes that I picked up when I first moved to Arizona and I hit up the Nike outlet. These were, I believe, only 20 bucks with an additional 20% off. So I picked up a bunch of these and a few of them sold, but I still have a couple size 11s left, and I was just glad that one of these finally did sell. And surprisingly enough, it sold on Poshmark. So I'm trying to just share my closet a little more. I'm trying to add some more stuff to my closet as well, just so I can get more active on there, because as you guys know, I kind of took some time off and I wasn't really spending as much time on Poshmark as I should have been. But after just running the numbers, I realized that I was making some decent money on Poshmark when I was putting in the effort. So I'm just going to try to be consistent, keep up that same energy, and I'll continue to share some sales with you guys and hopefully some more Poshmark sales running. Next up with the other Poshmark sale is a pair of golf shoes for women, and these are actually some older Nike golf shoes. I believe the dates on these were like 2002 or something like that. So still really good condition. I was making sure that I was flexing them around and just kind of squeezing them to make sure that they didn't have any separation or any crumbling. So these shoes were still in really good condition, and I believe these sold for $39.99. No, I had them listed for 39 bucks and I took a best offer for, I believe, 32 bucks. So at the end of the day, still a decent amount of profit because I picked these up from the thrift for maybe 4 or 5 bucks, and I'm just glad that these sold because I had these sitting around for maybe 2 or 3 months and it was taking a while for these to sell. But like I was telling you guys, just after sharing my closet a couple times yesterday, I ended up getting some good sales. So at the end of the day, it's all about sharing your closet as much as possible to bring in some sales. Next up is something that I already had to package up because the buyer actually sent me a message and told me that their address was wrong. So I just wanted to make sure that I just packaged it up and put the right label on there before I forgot. But this is just a pair of Vapormax Light 2s in that triple black colorway, and I sold a pair a few days ago in a size 7.5, and now the size 12 had sold. So size 12 is a kind of a tough size for women. I usually don't pick up size 12s, but this particular pair of shoes was really dope in my opinion, so I figured might as well take a chance on it, and it sold within about 2 or 3 weeks after picking it up. So this was a decent sale and I made some decent profit on this. I think I picked it up for 50 bucks and it sold for maybe 110, 120. I'll put the screenshot up on here for you guys, but I definitely was able to double up on this. And the best part is anytime you sell shoes on eBay for over 100 bucks, you save money on fees. Last but certainly not least, we got this pair of Saint Laurent creepers, and I picked these up from Plato's for I believe 30 or 35 bucks a few months ago, and I actually did some in-store footage, so I'll see if I can pull some of that footage and share that with you guys really quickly. Now this was definitely a pleasant surprise. Now as soon as I seen these boots, I knew that these were definitely some luxury boots because I'm familiar with the style, mainly because I'm always on sites like Mr. Porter. So as soon as I saw that silly ass insole, I knew I had to take it out and just reveal the actual brand. And these are a pair of Saint Laurent boots. Now Saint Laurent used to be known as Yves Saint Laurent, very high-end brand, and clearly the people in the store, they probably didn't even know what they were because of that insole. And thankfully, like every other shoe in this store, they priced it at 30 bucks. So usually anytime you're in like a Plato's or a Buffalo Exchange, sometimes they put the other shoe in the back, and this time they were both shoes on the floor. So that was also a really good surprise, and I was able to just pull out the insole on the other shoe and really just check the condition of both shoes, and they checked out to be really, really good. Clearly they were worn, they did have some minor heel drag, but nothing too serious. And as soon as Dom saw the shoes, she got excited. But overall, it took me a while to actually list these because I definitely just wanted to do some more legit checking on these to make sure that they were 100% authentic. And just after running my Googles and comparing some photographs and stuff like that, I determined that these were 100% legit. So I went ahead and I listed these for $299. I got a best offer of $200. I actually got a few offers of $200 plus, but I really wasn't trying to let this go for at least $250. And I got a best offer of $250, and I went ahead and accepted that. And of course, the amount of tax they charged on this was kind of significant since the shoes were so expensive. So I believe once the payment came into me, it was like $280, but I know in terms of my price, I only charged $250 for these. So overall, still a really good amount of profit considering the fact that I only picked these up for like 35 bucks. And I'll probably package these up a little nicer instead of just putting them in a padded flat rate envelope, especially since they're so expensive. I'll probably box these up and make sure that they get to the buyer safely and still in the same condition that I have them now. But overall, really good steal because I remember when I found these shoes, it says Saint Laurent Paris on the insole, but when I picked these up, they actually had like a spare insole covering that up. So the person that purchased these from Plato's probably didn't even know what these shoes were, didn't know the worth of these shoes, so that's why they priced it so cheap. So this was definitely a really good steal. But once I listed these up on eBay, they sold within about a week and a half. So this was a really quick flip. Alright y'all, that's all I got for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Hey, let's go. Worst back in the day, and so I can't complain. For all the times I pray carnivores don't come take. Cause it's poppin' up opportunists, I can't salute it. They raising red flags instead of raising solutions. I'm trying to do what's best for me. Okay, right hand's on the wall because it's destiny. First time I own, but right hand, man, ain't nothing left for me. I left him, see, you can't hold me back like elementary. What's meant for me? You can keep the fame, see, I just want the payment.